Hey there. Today's video is going to discuss the upcoming Ottawa Scale Auto Contest that will be held September 29th at the Holland Armory on Walkley Road. Now, we took a year off last year from doing it, and we are back on for 2024. The Hobby Center is a major sponsor of this show, as are a number of other companies. We'll give you some better images at the end. And we are the point people, so anybody has questions, wants to reserve tables, anything like that, the Hobby Center is the place to discuss these things. And the easiest way is to email us at hobcen@rogers.com. That's HOBCEN@rogers.com. So any questions, we'll answer them and we'll pass them along. If you want to reserve vending tables and whatnot, please by all means contact us. So with the show, this video is inspired by one of the members of the model car group. He's pretty new to the hobby and new to contests. And he had a question about one of the categories. And I realized that we've been doing these contests for so long that we just assume that people know what the categories and whatnot are all about. So I'm going to explain in detail each category and what the expectations are, what the limits are, and what sort of things are appropriate to put in them. Now, first of all, we have to mention again that it's not an NNL contest where there's no prizing or anything. We do have prizes. The difference between our contest and, say, an IPMS contest or an AMPS contest is there's no judging per se. Like, we don't have judges that are going to go around and judge each model. What we do is we let the people that actually build the models and enter the models be the judges. So each person that enters will be presented with a sheet. And on the sheet, we'll have all these categories listed, and then you pick the numbers of the models you think are worthy to win awards in that. Then we tally those up, and that's how we determine who the winners are. So this is a peer-judged contest. So, we think that people that build models are in the best position to judge models. You know what goes into it. You know how to look for fit and finish. You know how to the curb appeal and whatnot. So you are in the best position to judge other people's models. Of course, you can always pick your own models and pick them as the best ones, and that's always an option. But we'd like to think you're a little more honorable than that, and you would pick what is actually to you the best model on the table. And if yours is the best, by all means, pick it. The other thing we would like to ask is if you have entered our contest before and won with a model, you've won an award for that model, we would ask that you don't bring it back again. You've already done it. Don't bring it back for more. Now, that is not to say you cannot take your model and enter it in IPMS, here, there, and everywhere, and our contest. By all means, enter as many as you can. But once you've entered our contest and you've won something with that model, we would ask you retire it from our contest. We don't want to see the same models all the time. It just keeps it fresh, and it keeps it a little more honorable and gives other people a chance. So enough about that. I'm going to start running down the classes and give you a brief explanation about them. So the first question I had was about best factory stock. Now, we used to have an out-of-the-box category. We got rid of that. We figured that was pretty redundant because what's in a box? Some boxes, come with, advanced decals and photo etch parts and resin parts and all that. So building out of the box really is meaningless nowadays. It used to mean you just use whatever's in the box and make that model. But that can vary from a snap-together kit to the aforementioned fully detailed model with all kinds of extras. So we eliminated out of the box. So the mistake, or the question was, is factory stock the same as out of the box? No. Factory stock just means that the car is the way it came out of the factory, literally. So if you build a 1963 Corvette, you build it as close to factory original as you can. You don't hop up the back. You don't put wide tires on it. You don't soup it up. You don't chop it. You don't channel it. You don't do anything to it. You build it as God intended it, as it came off the assembly line. This is factory stock and applies to all years and makes of models. We're giving 3 awards for that: gold, silver, and bronze. Then our next category is best racing car. It's a pretty broad scope, but there's lots of interest there. That would include your Formula cars, your Group C cars, your NASCARs, anything that races. Anything basically that has a number on it and has been used on a track. Again, we have the 3 awards for those. A new category this year is Best Altered Reimagined. Now, this is where you take something and you twist it. You turn it into something else, like a mini sedan delivery, or I see online somebody had a mini cement mixer, or you make a Cadillac pickup truck or something. It's like, it's fantasy, it's a what if, or these things may exist, but they were totally custom. They didn't come out of the factory like that, but somebody made them like that. That is the class, and I expect to see some really interesting stuff in there. Again, 3 awards. Now, let me specify that in most automotive categories, you're looking at a 1/24th or 1/25th scale model, because that is the popular modeling scales for automotive and truck subjects. Where that is not the rule is in the next one, which is best motorcycle. Motorcycles are all over the place. You know, to me, it has popularized 1/12 scale. There's 1/6 scale. There's 1/20 scale. There's 1/18 scale. There's 1/24 scale bikes. So best motorcycle, it does not matter the scale. It just has to be a motorcycle, with or without a sidecar, with or without long forks and sissy bars and anything else. As long as it's got 2 wheels as the basic motor power, it is a motorcycle. And no matter what scale, it goes in this class. 3 awards. Now we got trucks. We broke them up because there's so many trucks in the world. Best light truck, you know, that's pickup trucks, vans, that sort of thing. 3 awards in that class. And then the best big truck, which is your big rigs, you know, your big delivery trucks, your construction stuff, your tractor trailer rigs, all that sort of stuff. They're in their own class, and there's 3 awards in that. Now, talking about scale again, we recognize there are models bigger than 1/24th or 25th. So we have a class called Best Large Scale. So that's larger than 1/24. So that's your 1/16th, your 1/18th, your 1/20th, right up to your Porsche 1/8 scale if you so desire. There's 3 awards in that class. Then we also recognize there are popular scales smaller than 1/25th, which would include 1/48th, 1/43rd, 1/50th. If you're into model railroading, there's things at 1/87 scale. They are appropriate in this class as well. There's 3 awards in this class. And then we have a catch-all, best anything else automotive. That could be a snowmobile, that can be trailers, that can be farm tractors. Anything that doesn't really fit into these other categories, this is the place to put it. There's 3 awards for that class. Then we have best diorama automotive theme. So you've made a diorama, you've put a garage, you've done whatever you've done to make a scene and tell a story. There's 1 award in this class. And we would like to reiterate for people that are a little confused, you can put a base under your model. You can put a mirror, or you can have it attached to a display case base or whatnot. That's fine. But as soon as your base tells a story, it's got figures on it, it's got embellishments or anything on it, it becomes a diorama and must go in the diorama class. Then we have a best diorama that is not automotive. So you have a model airplane and you've made an airfield and whatnot. You have a tank in a broken building. You know, anything again that tells a story as a scenery component to it. It is a diorama, and there's a class for ones that aren't car and truck related. So military, aircraft, ships, whatnot. 1 award. We would also like to please ask that your dioramas limit yourself to a maximum of 24 inches by 24 inches. That's still a pretty big diorama, but for spacing in the show and whatnot, we would ask to keep it at or under 24 inches by 24 inches. We have special awards, 1 award for the best paint, as judged by your fellow modelers, and the best engine. Now, best engine means one that you've detailed. You've put the wires and the hoses and maybe the linkages and however crazy you can go with it. We would like to reward the best detailed engine in the show with an award. Now, we have a best in show as voted by your peers. So the single model that gains the most votes overall, that just dominates, will be awarded the best entry overall in the show. 1 award for that. Now, because we're an all-inclusive contest, we like all kinds of models. We now break away from automotive subjects and we get into things like best military land. So that's your tanks, your trucks, your guns, all those different things. We have 3 awards for that: gold, silver, and bronze. We have the best military aircraft. We have 3 awards for that. We also have the best civilian aircraft. Now, we only went one award in that because that's a lowly entered class. There's one guy that does really good work, and he basically just takes all the awards anyway. So bring your best one, buddy, and get the board for that class. Then we have best boat or ship, military. So your battleships, your aircraft carriers, destroyers, submarines, things like that. We brought that down to one award because it is a very low entered class at our show. We can always bring that back next year if we get a flood of them in. So this is always adjustable. And then we have a best boat or ship civilian. That's your passenger liners, your Titanics, your tugboats, anything that's not military nature. That's one award. Then two very popular classes. We have the best Gundam, 1/100th and larger, 1/144th and smaller, out of the box. There's one award each. So 1/100 scale and bigger, 1/144th and smaller. Those are two separate things, and there's one award for each, and they're built just the way they come in the box. Nothing added to it. Then the same class, 1/100 bigger, 1/144 smaller, modified. That's where you've done things to them, you've altered them, you've added aftermarket parts, and you've altered the design from what came in the box. And there will be one award for each of that. The best science fiction or real space. There's 3 awards in this category: gold, silver, bronze. So that's anything real in space, space shuttles, Apollos, lunar landers, and all that. But it's also your Star Trek, your Star Wars, your Space 2001, your Space 1999, anything like that. This is the class where they all compete together. 3 awards in that class. One we added that we think is a lot of fun. We call it eggs, planes, and automobiles. So those are those Hasegawa egg planes. Those are your super deformed Gundams. Those are your World War IIs, like the little caricature tanks, and your planes, and your boats. And there's a bunch of other things. Some of those crazy, those cars that are kind of deformed, and they're sitting up on their back wheels. All that sort of stuff that's not a prototypically correct. It's a caricature of a thing. Those go into this class. So as I say, that's kind of a fun, kind of a cartoon class, if you will. We have a best figure historical. Again, unfortunately, that's a class that doesn't get entered a lot in ours. There's one award for the best one that shows up for that. Brand new this year, because we like Lego, and we think Lego is very related to modeling. A lot of people that do Lego go into models, or they go back and forth. It doesn't matter. We have a class for the best Lego build, and we're given 3 awards: gold, silver, and bronze. So bring out your most spectacular Lego build and slap her down on the table. This year we have a special award. It's called Gone But Not Forgotten. Now, none of us are getting any younger in this hobby, and it seems like every year we have a contest, there may be 1 or 2 people less than came the year before. And as a tribute to any of our modeling friends that aren't with us, any vehicle manufactured by a defunct manufacturer is the theme for this special award. So any cars that were made, I don't know, Bearcat Stutz, Edsels, you think of it. A car company that's no longer around, was made once in the past. Even, you know, there's been some fairly recent car companies that are no longer around. DeLorean, things like that. They would all go in this class. And it is a tribute to all our modeling friends that couldn't be at this year's show. We have a People's Choice Award. Now, this is everybody that comes on the show that isn't entering a model, just coming to check it out, support their friends, whatnot, see what's going on. They get a ballot, and they get to vote for the model out of all of them they like the best, and that will be the People's Choice Best in Show Award. We also have a class for juniors. So anybody aged up to and including 12 years old can enter this. There is no entry fee for you. Your models get to enter free, and you will get a participation prize for showing up. So we like to see lots of kids come in. We want to encourage them by having no charge admission, no charge to enter, and a little prize for doing so. We want to encourage you to play in our hobby. So we are going to do that. That is all the classes done. I will give you a couple of little administrative points. It's $7 entry fee for all participants. That gets you 5 models, and then any model beyond 5 is $1 each extra. Anybody can come to the show for free to look at it. If you want family, or just tell people generally, come on, check out the models and the dealer's room and whatnot, general admission is free, and as long as we can, we will keep it that way. We also have vendors. That's a big component of our show, is the flea market area where people come in and they sell off their excess kits. We'll be there, the Hobby Center as a store, and I'm sure there might be some other dealers there as well. Table rental is $35 per table. You can have it for $30 if you bring your own table. So if you want to reserve a table for our show, contact us again, hobson@rogers.com, and we will hook you up. Now, all these things are subject to last minute changes and whatnot. Please check out the website for the contest, and that will give us all the up-to-date information. The website is www.ottawascaleautocontest.com. That's all one word, and we will put a link to it below, so you can check that out as well. We're doing our best to keep that up to date with the newest news. We should have a downloadable entry form on there, and we would like to make this flyer downloadable as well as the poster for the show. I think that's all I've got to say for now. If you have any questions, of course, you can always leave them below this, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Or email me, like I said, I'll repeat it one more time, hobson@rogers.com. You can probably see it flashing at the bottom of the screen. Anyway, email us with any questions, concerns, or suggestions. We'd like to hear from you. Thanks as always for watching. We'll see you again real soon.
Okay, don't forget, please subscribe, slap that bell, hit that like button, and join Team Hobby Center.